Hello and welcome to Autosport International, where the big story of the day is the first time we've heard from Guenther Steiner since his shock departure from Haas this week. I'm here with Sam Coop from Formula Nerds. Sam, first reaction, what did you make of what Steiner said and also a bit about his departure?
I thought it was quite interesting. I think he was more open than I was expecting to be. Obviously, NDA'd up to his eyeballs, as we'd expect, so he was never going to say too much. But he spoke quite nicely. First of all, saying thank you to the Haas team members and fans. A lot's been said in the last few days, obviously, that wasn't given the opportunity to do that when he was fired between what turns out to be Christmas and New Year. Really interesting to hear him talk about the model, which Haas employed obviously when they came into the sport nearing a decade ago, not really working or being fit for purpose. Now I think it isn't relevant anymore. So yeah, I mean, it was very, very interesting to hear from him. Obviously, the first time since that departure. But yeah, he seems to be taking it well, at least publicly. So,
what did you make of his departure? Because obviously he's the third longest serving team principal, and he pretty much left without a goodbye. Really, like he was just gone. We learned today that he left between Christmas and New Year, but not allowed to say goodbye to the team. You said, like, what do you make of him leaving? Sort of, what do you see the future of Haas?
Well, there are kind of two main schools of thought when it comes to Steiner's departure. There's some who feel that he was holding the team back, he was a problem. Maybe the kind of Haas side of things in terms of Gene, saying they want engineering at the heart of the team. And we're seeing this increasingly more, is engineers being team principals, because they can do two jobs essentially at the same time. So he's following that trend. But I think realistically, for me, he was doing what he could within some very, very tight constrictions. There's a shoestring budget at Haas. There's only so much they can do, and in this era of Formula One, if you don't have the investment, you're going to struggle.
And what do you make of Haas and the team? Because obviously, like you said, they're not a team with great investment. But if you look around the grid and who they're sort of competing with, you've got like teams like Alfa Romeo who would change Sauber, you've got Audi next year, you've got Williams making big moves. Are Haas going to find themselves sort of stuck a little bit compared to those around them?
Yes, unless there's one key area to me that jumps out that they need to tackle. We've seen it a few times, and this is kind of pre-COVID, I think it was 2019, when they had a very quick car on a Saturday, but come to Sunday, they'd fall back, very heavy on tyres, and that was very much the issue last year. Nico Hulkenberg was in fine form, especially in qualifying, so it's about being able to translate that speed over one lap into the race, and if they can do that, that will hold them in good stead, and they will be in, I think, probably the Williams conversation. Alfa Romeo, I think or Stake rather, I think they can have the measure of, and I think that is realistically where they will be next year.
And what about Steiner? I mean, come on, he's one of those personal team principals on the grid, Mr. Netflix. Where do you see him in the future? Do you think he'll be back in F1, or do you reckon he'll go into some kind of media work?
I hope he will be. I could imagine him. I could see him doing some stuff stateside, maybe. There's obviously IndyCar, NASCAR, other huge types of motorsport over there. I hope he does some media work, as David Croft was saying, Crofty, that he wants to see him do some more punditry. But Steiner himself very much feels that he doesn't want to do just odd jobs. He wants to do something that he's really interested in, a project that he can really kind of get his teeth into. So I would like to see him back in F1, and I think what would be really key is to see him in an environment that isn't Haas. What can Guenther Steiner do when given the tools that other team principals have maybe been afforded over their time in F1?
And just to finish off, I'm going to give you a hard question. Okay. I'm going to say one word answer, but it's one number answer. Where did Haas finish in 2024?
Ninth.
Okay. Above who? Sorry.
Above Stake.
Above Stake. There you go. That's all we had today. And like I said, big news. Steiner out, but his first words since those moments.